Do I dispute a far-left blog that I haven't read that you brought up in this interview? I have no idea, George. I have no idea what they actually said. But I certainly question the source. I question their credibility. And most importantly, I'm not worried about what they said about members of our administration. I ask the question, what does the law say? And if the law says that you engage in mortgage fraud, and a local prosecutor, a local grand jury, and finally a jury convicts you of that crime, then that is how the justice system is meant to work in the United States of America.
The White House border czar Tom Homan was recorded on an FBI surveillance tape in September 2024, accepting $50,000 in cash. Did he keep that money or give it back?
George, you've covered the story ad nauseum. Tom Homan did not take a bribe. It's a ridiculous smear. And the reason you guys are going after Tom Homan so aggressively is because he's doing the job of enforcing the law. I think it's really preposterous. I know Tom. I think that he's a good man. He gets death threats. He gets attacked. He gets constantly threatened by people because he has the audacity to want to enforce the country's immigration laws. I think that it would be a much more interesting story about why is it that Tom Homan, who is simply enforcing Americans' immigration laws, is getting constantly harassed and threatened to the point of death threats. That's a much more interesting question that I think journalists should focus on. We can agree to disagree on that question.
Well, wait, you said he didn't take a bribe, but I'm not sure you answered the question. Are you saying that he did not accept the $50,000?
George, this story has been covered ad nauseum. He did not take a bribe. Did he accept $50,000? I'm sure that in the course of Tom Homan's life, he has been paid more than $50,000 for services. The question is, did he do something illegal? And there's absolutely no evidence that Tom Homan has ever taken a bribe or done anything illegal, which is why he's working in the administration.
I'm asking you, did he accept the $50,000 that was caught on the surveillance tape? Did he accept that $50,000 or not?
George, I don't know what you're talking about. Did he accept $50,000 for what?
He was recorded on an audio tape in September 2024, an FBI surveillance tape, accepting $50,000 in cash. Did he keep that money?
Accepting $50,000 for doing what, George? I'm not even sure I understand the question. Is it illegal to take a payment for doing services? The FBI has not prosecuted him. I've never seen any evidence that he's engaged in criminal wrongdoing. Nobody has accused Tom of violating a crime, even the far-left media like yourself. So I'm actually not sure what the precise question is. Did he accept $50,000? Honestly, George, I don't know the answer to that question. What I do know is that he didn't violate a crime.
So you don't, what was caught on the tape, you're saying right now you don't know whether or not he kept that money?
I don't know what tape you're referring to, George. I saw media reports that Tom Homan accepted a bribe. There's no evidence of that. And here's, George, why fewer and fewer people watch your program and why you're losing credibility. Because you're talking for now 5 minutes with the Vice President of the United States about this story regarding Tom Homan, a story that I've read about, but I don't even know the video that you're talking about. Meanwhile, low-income women can't get food because the Democrats and Chuck Schumer have shut down the government. Right now, we're trying to figure out how to pay our troops because Chuck Schumer has shut down the government. You are focused on a bogus story. You're insinuating criminal wrongdoing against a guy who has done nothing wrong instead of focusing on the fact that our country is struggling because our government's shut down. Let's talk about the real issues, George. I think the American people would benefit much more from that than from you going down some weird left-wing rabbit hole where the facts clearly show that Tom Homan didn't engage in any criminal wrongdoing.
It's not a weird left-wing rabbit hole. I didn't insinuate anything. I asked you whether Tom Homan accepted $50,000, as was heard on an audio tape recorded by the FBI in September 2024, and you did not answer the question. Thank you for your time this morning.
No, George, I said that.
And that is exactly how you shut it down. Welcome back to Kim's Breaking Point. If you're new here, I'm Kim, of the stories that mainstream media skips past and break down the media moments that actually reveal how power works. And what you just saw, that was one of those rare moments on live TV where a journalist didn't let the political spin win. So let's unpack everything that went down between J.D. Vance and George Stephanopoulos and why this moment matters more than you may think. Be sure to like this video and subscribe if you haven't already for more breaking news and media analysis just like this, because here, we don't just report the headlines, we decode them. This happened on ABC This Week October 12, 2025, Stephanopoulos pressed J.D. Vance about reports surrounding Tom Homan, a former border czar who was allegedly caught on FBI video surveillance accepting $50,000 in cash. The question was simple, but did he keep the money or return it? But instead of answering, Vance dodged, deflected, and tried to spin it into a partisan attack. Pressed, Vance called it a left-wing rabbit hole. But Stephanopoulos didn't back down. He kept the question focused and refused to let the conversation get hijacked. Finally, after multiple evasions, George ended the segment with that now viral line, "You did not answer the question," and that right there is what accountability looks like. Calm, direct, no yelling, just naming the dodging and moving on. Now, why didn't J.D. Vance just answer the question? Politically, it's because it's a lose-lose situation. If he says yes, he confirms corruption inside his own administration. If he says no, and evidence later proves otherwise, he's tied to a cover-up. So what does he do? He hides behind vague language, hoping to survive the moment without leaving a soundbite that could hurt him later. But evasion is a soundbite. And when you're in office, silence can say more than any answer. This is also a lot about how journalism has evolved. Too often, reporters ask tough questions. But when politicians start filibustering, the moments get lost in the noise. Stephanopoulos didn't let that happen. He did something that journalists rarely do. He made it clear to the audience that the question wasn't answered. That's transparency. That's accountability. And that's how the press should work in a democracy. This moment isn't about whether or not you like George Stephanopoulos or J.D. Vance. It's about whether the truth still matters while cameras are rolling. When politicians dodge, they're not outsmarting the press. They're disrespecting the people watching at home because voters deserve clarity, not calculated silence. And when journalists stand their ground, when they refuse to let an evasive answer pass as truth, that's not bias. That's doing the job. So props to George Stephanopoulos for showing what accountability looks like, live, unfiltered, and factual. But I want to know what you think. Was Vance just trying to protect the administration? Or just avoiding a political trap? Drop your thoughts down below and let me know if you think the media should do more of this in political interviews. If you're new here, don't forget to like and subscribe and gently tap that bell for more notifications. Because here on Kim's Breaking Point, we don't just follow headlines, we decode them.